Hey there, YouTube. This is Vargas recording live from the workbench of the Vargas Vault, and I'm doing another costume thing video. um, if you saw the last video that I posted, I made myself the Eye of Agamotto. Here's a better look at it once my camera focuses. I wasn't entirely happy with the way it was before. So what I did is that I just put some black lines here. I tried to make like triangles, but didn't quite work out. But I'm happy with how it looked out. Then I didn't like how clean it was, so I kind of like very gently with watered down black paint just went over the markings. Some of them popped out really nicely. Then the lines here that I wanted to give this thing. So I'm very happy with the state of it. Very, very pleased with how it turned out. And again, turn it on and wonderful. So one of my plans for Halloween, because I always try to make a couple of ideas for Halloween, because at the place where I work, they've been doing it for the time that I've been there, so I don't think they're going to break tradition this year. But every year they make a Halloween get-together. So sometimes they make a Halloween contest. Sometimes they just ask whoever wants to do it to bring a Halloween costume, and they take pictures, and then sometimes they give out prizes. Sometimes just for fun. So what I wanted to do, or one of the plans that I have, is to build a Doctor Strange costume, because I like Doctor Strange. So, for me to complete the thing, I still need a couple of more things to build. I already have the main thing, which is a functioning Eye of Agamotto. Next thing I need is a red cape, and I think if I can find one, I want to find a vampire red cape, because I have a black vampire cape, but I don't have a red vampire cape, and a red vampire cape would work better with Doctor Strange. Then I just need to buy some sort of belt and some fabric gauntlets, which I'm going to build. But one of the other big things that I was wrapping my head on how to build was the Doctor Strange spell disc. If you haven't watched the Marvel movie, but if you're familiar with the character, Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme. He does magic. Doesn't do magic tricks or anything like that, but he actually knows a lot of spells to protect the world. He protects the world from the threats that are more than your typical supervillain. Captain America fights the Red Skull. The X-Men fight the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Doctor Strange actually tackles demons and interdimensional forces that want to come over to the Marvel universe and consume all the souls. He battles Mephisto, which is one of many interpretations of the devil. He wards off Dormammu during any big cosmic event. He's there. He was a big part of the Infinity Gauntlet, the original comic book storyline. So he's a big thing, and he knows a lot of important spells. The Crimson Bands of Sidorak are one of the bigger ones he used, that he very briefly used in the movie. He didn't use it that much in the movie. He does it a lot in the comic books. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Doctor Strange does his own spell, and he has an attack spell, which is like orange, and he has the more powerful one, which is the time spell, which is granted to him by the Eye of Agamotto, which in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has an Infinity Gauntlet, the Time Stone, or the Time Gem. That's the green thing that's in there. So I wanted to build something like that, and I've seen. I'm doing research. I saw a lot of YouTube videos that built the Time Stone or the spells, the spell circle, and some of them used fiberglass. A number of LEDs, and they had the more impressive one I saw had this laser machine that would cut different segments of fiberglass, and then he just put it together, put a string of LEDs, and it looked badass. I've seen others. I don't know how they did it, but they created a spell disc. I saw it from a video at Comic-Con. They made a spell disc using augmented reality. Others have these lights that they program and they spin and they create. That's way too complicated for me. I don't know jack shit about lighting or welding or battery packs or anything. I don't know anything. Maybe if I research it and practice it, I could do it, but I can't do that kind of stuff. So the easiest thing that I saw someone do, and I would like, I could totally do that. I'm gonna do that. Is to build just a plastic one with paint. And what I went ahead and did is that I went online and I got a picture. Well, I got this online, and it's supposedly the spell circle of the Time Stone, which is the spell that Doctor Strange used to fight off Dormammu when he's like, "Dormammu, I've come to bargain." From what I was able to get on the internet, the internet's not reliable, and I haven't bought the movie, but I've seen pictures. I was able to get some pictures online, and it looks kind of like the one. Honestly, all the spells kind of look the same. The only difference is the color green is for the Time Stone, and oranges or yellowish is for the other spells. Attack and defense. But I wanted to do the time one because I have Agamotto. So this is, again, basically the time spell design. It's a very intricate design, very intricate. It has a lot of kind of like runes, and then some images there, some more images there in the third circle here, and then a really complex web of squares, triangles, and the like. So really, really complicated. But what I did is that we had a couple of birthdays in the family a couple of days ago. So I got this. It's the cover from the cake, but this one's really flimsy, like really, really weak. I could still use it for one of the other spells, but I wanted the time spell to be kick-ass. This is really, really flimsy, clear plastic. So what I had to did is I got from a cheesecake that we had a better plastic, and I already did the design. So basically, what I did is that if you're gonna have a cake, they have those clear covers. Just cut off the top, which is what I did. I cut off the top in this one and in this one. And then you take a couple of tape and you put this thing in there, tape it up, and what you want to do it, I don't have any more of it because I used it all up, but you want to buy a little tube. I'm going to put a picture of it here, but a little tube of puffy paint. It's a special paint that comes in a little tube, which again I'll put a picture of in the video. And you press the tube, and it releases paint, but it's for fabrics and stuff like that. But it releases this. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up, but it's kind of like it's like puffy paint basically. It's 3D paint, and what you want to do is that with the paint, you just trace the shapes that you want to do. And this took me a while. It took me a while to do this, and I still. I suppose I could still do these flower petal kind of things, but it took me a while because I don't have as much free time as I used to. For reasons I want to talk about in another video. Those that follow me on Facebook know what the deal is. So my free time is like gone. I've actually been doing this in segments. I start with the circles and the triangles and these things, then the squares, because there's two squares here, then the circle, then these shapes, then the outer circle, then the inner circle, then these shapes, then one more circle. So this took me a good week of in and out of doing bits and pieces here and trying to get the thing to look good. And unfortunately, if it doesn't come out in my video, I've been lifting a bunch of stuff, and I'm really tired. I haven't gotten that much sleep. So when I was trying to, I had to do a couple things over. If you put the paint on fresh, you could scrape it off and then start again, which is what I did at first. My hand kept shaking, and I over squeezed the puffy paint, and a glob of paint would come out. So, I had to erase some stuff and start over. The easiest things were these triangles, and then these lines, then this. But then once I got it into the other square, and then the circles, and all these little things, that's when it got kind of complicated. But all in all, it turned out great. Then what you do is you just remove your template, and I'm going to use this one later on for this one. But I like this one because it has these little lines, so I can work with that. I can use that in the costume. My cell phone's getting really hot. But I want to do a yellow or orange spell, a defensive, offensive spell. But this is the time spell. The time spell that I built. As you can see, it's clear. The last thing you want to do is that you just want to put a strap of tape. That's what I did there. You put a strap of tape here, and so that when you use your time spell, you could just put your two. Well, I know it looks like Spider-Man, but Doctor Strange does it this way. At least the images in the comic books, he does this hand symbol, which looks like a metal symbol, which is why Doctor Strange is awesome, but it also looks like he's shooting webs. So I just made the thing enough to hold my two fingers here, and then I could just go time spell. And it looks pretty cool. I posted a video on, a picture of it on Facebook, but since I posted that image, I've done some more detail on it. So I'm happy with how it turned out. I just need to cut off this part here. So it'll look good because it has this engraven here, so which I don't much care for. But once I'm also debating whether or not to put another circle here, but I'd have to buy more puffy paint. Put another circle there, and then some more gibberish here, because this one has another circle and gibberish. So I want it to look as detailed as possible, so I might just go ahead and put a mosquito. Sorry about that. I had a mosquito in my hand. So I just might put another circle of puffy paint with gibberish and call it a day. If I really want to go hardcore, might put these flower petals. But it took me a while to build this thing, because I had to do the designs and then wait for it to paint. So the next day I would do the designs and then wait for it to paint. And again, my hand kept shaking, so it didn't come out. You could still see globs of paint. I'm my own worst critic. I always find flaws in the stuff I do. But anyway, I'm still happy with how it looks. And once I decide what to do, if I want to add more detail here, maybe add some more detail here or here, a couple more triangles, or the outer circle with some more gibberish, I'll have myself a time spell, which is cool, at least to me. And I just get that red cape, build a few more things here and there, and I can go dressed as Doctor Strange, which would be awesome. So yeah, just wanted to share this neat little tip video for Doctor Strange time spell. If you want to do the other one, just get, instead of this apple green thing that I picked up, just an orange or a yellow, and you can do the same with the other one. It's kind of time consuming, at least for me it was, but if you have a steady hand and time to kill, you could do this in a day and pretty much. But yeah, just wanted to share it with you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Really want to get back to recording reviews and stuff like that. I know I have a plot line here that still needs to be resolved, but I'll work on that, guys. But until I see you all again, this was Vargas recording from the the workbench in the Vargas Vault. Thanking you all for your comments, your likes, your subs, your thumbs up, your whatever you want to leave. And until I see you all again, thanks so much, and thank you so much.